Just out running around today, gonna run a few errands. I gotta head down to Chinook Mall because university student is meeting me at the train station to buy my old Sony Next 5 because I bought a Sony a6000 online from henrys.com used for $420 shipped to me. Then Aubery's gonna buy my old Sony a5000 once I get the new one. But on my way there, stopped off at a garage sale, picked up some shit. Picked up this Valbon Victory 460 fluid head tripod, something more I could take in the bush and trash, don't have to worry about it, because my man Frodo's, I really don't want to be hauling those around. Plus these gas bottles have never been opened. They are $7.99 a piece, picked them both up for $5. Tripod I picked up for 10. I've got some shit on my lens here. Well, I just got home and, bought some more shit I really don't need, but I think I'm gonna have some pretty cool projects. So let's look what I bought. I spent $130 on the shit I bought, so I'll go drag it inside and I'll show you guys. You let me know what you guys think. This is the first thing I bought. It's a Princess Auto or Power Fist Welder 20 amp. Cheap as fuck, but for $50, what could go wrong? Won't be as good as my trusty Lincoln though. But if it can burn flux core alright, and I could leave that welder hooked up to MIG wire, which is gas, I think it'd work out alright, because I only need to run flux core on odd jobs, and I'd rather not keep swapping spools around back and forth, so we'll see. I'll grab the other thing now and I'll show you. The other thing I picked up was this Monarch 12 volt hydraulic power pack. I also got the hoses too. That my 57 Chevy's doing a good job of holding them up. Did I need any of this shit? Absolutely not. But I got that hydraulic power pack for $80. They're like $700 new to buy here. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I was thinking of making a portable log splitter that would fit into the receiver of your truck. Now, when I was also there, he had this Princess Auto / Power Fist flux core welder. Did I need that? Absolutely not. I got 3 welders now. But I hate switching between MIG wire and flux core. So maybe if this one does alright, I'll just keep it. So let's pull it out of the box and have a look at least. Well, here it is here. Got some flux core in her. Well, got some metal kind of strapped together. I guess I'll remove that tank so it doesn't catch on fire, and we'll see what this bad boy can do. Well, it feeds wire. Sounds like it's fucking dying though. I do not have a tripod outside, so I just kind of set the camera there. And I'm just gonna burn a little bead on the end of this thing, see what happens. So according to the instructions, the metal thickness on low, which is 65 amps, I can only do 18 to 14. And then on high, it can do larger than 14 gauge. Which is really dog shit. But for $50, fuck, who cares? And there, that's where that cheap welder sits, right on the bottom of my cart, where the Lincoln dominates it up top. That's how you know you hit rock bottom. Holy shit. I think I might have hit the jackpot here. I'm not 100% sure. But I was about to throw out that box that shitty welder came in. And he had these in there. And it's just slightly smaller. But I think I might be able to make it work. Well, nope. Got my hopes up for nothing. Anyways, we gotta get some shit done today. I also gotta get the quad loaded up because me and Aubery are gonna head out riding tomorrow. So, let's continue on the rock crusher. So how I'm gonna mount this, I'm gonna cut 2 pieces of metal. And I'm gonna weld them on the bottom of the drum. and then they're going to be bolted onto here. That way, if needed, the drum can be removed. And once we get that set up, we can start figuring out what we're going to need to do the same for the engine. So let's go cut some metal. I'm not going to film that because it's not really important. It's a chop saw, chop through metal. Pretty straightforward. So I kind of got this right where I wanted. I want to get that plate right pretty much flush with the end for access, and I'm just going to put a tack weld right on there so I can kind of hold it in place, and then I could piss around with this one here making sure it's good. But I don't know, let's try the old shitty Princess Auto. Well, let's lay some beads on this thing and see how ugly it is. Not that my welding's any good either, but practice makes perfect. Here goes ghetto-ness. We're just going to weld the bead in the middle, on all the sides, maybe touch in the end too. See what this bad boy can do. Man, that thing is fucking ugly. I'm going to plug in the Lincoln and then compare the two. I'm going to do another bead just right beside it. Let's see, I'll go heat setting D, wire speed, try it at about 5. Oh yeah, so you can see the difference in the beads right there. Chicken shit. Because a shitty welder just does not seem to pool the metal like it should. I don't know if it's the welder, maybe it's got shitty wire. Either way, it just seems to kind of splatter instead of fucking forming a pool. So I'm gonna go back over that weld and see if I can make it look a little nicer. Well, there you have it. I'm gonna finish welding this up so we can start getting it mounted. Get low on wire, but turns out this one here has a roll of Lincoln flux core, which will be more than enough to finish anything I'm gonna be building. Fucking score, but it's already getting close to 3 o'clock. I should get the quad fired up and load it on the back of the truck for tomorrow, and then drill some holes, and if there's time, run down to Princess Auto and get some new fucking tips for the welder, and I need some longer bolts to manage to bolt that down. So pitter patter, let's get at her. Well, it's all loaded up for tomorrow. Parked it in the yard so no one decides to steal it tonight or tomorrow. But I need to shut her down. I need to get new tips for my welder because I'm out and I'm using a used one that hardly works. And I need to get some 2.5-inch bolts for here. And we'll get that mounted down and we'll start getting the spot for the engine. Then we'll build the legs and then put some wheels on her and she'll be finished. So let's go run some errands and it's motherfucking beer time. Fuck, they want your left nut for box of tips, $17, Jesus. Alright, it's motherfucking beer time, the old Milwaukee. Everything's all set to head out tomorrow quadding. I'm trying out something different with this camera. Since it's a Sony a5000, which is an E-mount type lens, I got the adapter to use my A-mount lens on it. So this is the first video I'm shooting with it. So I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. But I should have a Sony a6000 coming in hopefully next week. And then Aubery's going to buy this one off me that I just bought. Not that anybody gives a fuck, but I'm just keeping you guys informed of what's going on. So tomorrow's going to be a riding day. And then hopefully, depends how much fucking around I do, I would like to get this rock crusher finished next week. Or like the week after, because then I'm going to move on to some other projects. I got to build a light project for the Jeep, for camping. And then I also got to build a tailgate mounted log splitter. That's what I'm going to build with that power pack. That's my plan. Anyways, I'm going to get going. If you guys have any questions or comments, post them below. And it's motherfucking beer time.